Control Papi. Annyeong haseyo. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming, as we're settling into our next matchup, our next best of 3, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing his new team, Na'Vi. It is Spirit. I'll fix the team logo. I'll get on it. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. Just very quickly trying to find the Na'Vi logo. There we go. Okay, so as we mentioned before, both semifinals will be casted, so we will catch up with Wayne once he gets his opponent. Until then, we're going to be heading over towards the lower portion of the bracket instead, catching up with some of these other players, diving into a fresh best of 3. We're here for it. Lambo versus Spirit. The winner of this series advances on to face off against either Hearthstone or Showtime. A Protoss will be waiting. Which one? Yet to be determined. Long time no see, CranKy. Long time. I did see that you post on Twitter recently that you're of course looking for a team, and Control, of course, been around for quite some time. Relatively recently, coming back from his military service. Good to see you again, Pat. Good to see you, Control. Good to see you. As we do have RCC going to be on the way. It's going to be a Rex Expand at a Spirit. Pretty standard opener so far. I'm pointing this out just because Spirit has been known to go CC first more often than not, so we have to bear that in mind. As for now, just going for a more standard opener. Likewise, Lambo across the map going for a hatch gas pool as well. Everything is looking normal for the time being. Everything is looking normal. Big shout out to Control. Big shout out. Friend of the Ducklings. Friend of CranKy. For now, Reaper is going to be moving out, threatening the natural base. Getting a couple of hits in at the same time. Lambo is taking his third. So thankfully he is not too delayed. And we have our opener of choice from Spirit. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise that is going to be a third CC before Starport. A very economic opener out of our Terran player. And I'll be honest, this is a breath of fresh air. Look, recently we've been casting a lot of Bjorn and Maru and Gumiho, and they've been surprisingly aggressive. We've been seeing like a lot of 2-base all-ins in TVZ, so I'm very happy to see something more economic. Let's go. I can sink my teeth into something with a little bit more depth and just a little bit juicier in general. Sinking my teeth into Spirit. As the Reaper's going to be dipping into the main base, we're up to 2 Reapers. This is a bit unexpected. Investing into a second Reaper is not really of the norm, and we do force quite a bit of a reaction. At the same time, Link's get across the map, but the natural base is done. It is not going to be delayed, and not too many workers are exposed. Link speed kicks in. Oh, the Reaper's being such a nuisance, but this will eventually be shut down, and we will surround these Reapers. Did cause a bit of chaos in the main base of Lambo, this is true. We got a full scout as well, but Spirit was cleaned up. Looking at the unit loss tab here, oh, you can see that Lambo didn't lose anything, and Spirit did lose 1 SCV across the map alongside his Reapers. I do have to give the edge to Lambo after the early game, but until then though, Spirit, he's still just settling into things, getting to his Hellion production. Once again, Link's going to be threatening that mineral line. But Spirit does react well, does preserve his units, and is not going 3cc Banshee, is going 3cc into Liberator production. So with this opener here, Spirit is going to have faster stim, not going for an add-on swap. Stim well underway, and is looking to hit the field soon with Liberators and Hellions. The goal here, of course, is try to split up the attention of Lambo as best he can. Hellions will be threatening one side, Liberator is going to be threatening the other. The goal is to try to pull those queens apart and find a way to get some economic damage done. Meanwhile, the Overlord Scout confirms everything. The Overlord Scout will get eyes on everything going on, fully aware of the Liberator coming out, fully aware of the lack of Banshees. So Lambo should be at least mentally prepared for this. And there we go. Spores are on the way. Queens are getting in position. He is more than set up for this. Very fast Evo Chamber there out of Lambo. Liberator tries to rock up, but alas is zoned away by the Spore and the Queen. So far, a solid defense out of Lambo. Behind this, we have our safety Bailey Nest. We have our lair as well. There are some players that like to go for faster Evo Chambers and faster upgrades against a 3CC opener. This is just really safe play out of Lambo. Very safe play, just going for the faster lair and prioritizing his Bailey Nest, of course, as well. This is to get into bailing speed as quickly as possible, just to be secure here on these 4 bases. And from here, the game is going to settle. Now, what I will say, even though, yes, Spirit didn't really deal any damage with his Hellions, he did force a reaction, forced out some Lings, and at least Spirit didn't lose anything. I mean, the Liberator survived, the Hellions as well, which means that this army can be used at a later date, can be used when it comes to the main push. And the push is soon to be upon us. Remember, Stim is done, Combat Shields is on the way, we have our 1-1 upgrades. We're going to have an upgrade timing where Spirit has upgrades over his opponent because of the delayed Evo Chambers. Oh, and Lambo is rushing into that Hydra Den. Oh boy, we'll see if we can get away with that. I mean, for now, Lambo, he's running up to 80. A pretty comfortable drone count. Investing into Lingbane Hydra for the time being as well. There it is, Hydra upgrades are on the way. And Spirit is soon to hit the field, and there we go, is now going to be pushing. Now, we have the armory on the horizon. Once it finishes, we can morph in some of these Hellions into Hellbats to support his tanks. At the same time, Liberator on the right-hand side. And Spirit, he's got a lot of work to do. Does have a lot of work to do here. The army has been spotted, and the Lings are already in position. The Hellions! No! Hellions get surrounded immediately, and a bit of an overextension from Spirits. I mean, Hellions, they don't really have too much value here in the mid-game, but again, they could have had their uses here. They all get cleaned up at the same time. Liberator coming in from the right-hand side will get on top of a base. We'll get some drone damage. No reaction out of Lambo. 2 workers go down. Pretty good. 2 workers and lost mine time. Meanwhile, at the same time, we're diving on top of the tanks. The Unsiege. 1 tank was unsieged, and we should be able to clean this up. The second tank goes down. Spirit forced to lift. And upon losing both of those tanks, that is the backbone of the army gone at this point. Spirit is going to try to reinforce, getting out of tank production into Widow Mines instead. But Hydras have hit the field. And Lambo is looking rock solid. Now, because Lambo is investing into earlier Hydras, it is delaying 2-2. The 2-2 upgrades are still not started here for Lambo. That is something to take note of and to bear in mind. But the advantage is he's going to be able to keep up with these medevacs. Can keep up with the drop. Speaking of, does try to focus him down. Good stutter stepping here from Spirit. Does clean up those Lings. Behind this, getting into Drilling Claws. Meanwhile, Lambo rushing into a faster Hive. With a fast Hive, we can gain access to Vipers, Adrenal, potentially Lunkers. I don't think we really need to invest into Lunkers anytime soon. I think we're doing quite well here with just a more mobile Lingbane Hydra composition, but the tank is going to be available in case we do need it. Spirit just trying to be as active as he can, trying to split up the army, the forces of Lambo, but Lambo is pre-split. He's in position, he's looking to chase Spirit down. Likewise on the left-hand side, Lambo overextending, but he does catch some of those Marines. Getting a little bit adventurous, fighting off of creep. But again, behind this, Hive Tech is done. We've already drawn up to 94. That's quite a lot of drones. Up to 5, soon to be 6 bases. Lambo's looking pretty comfortable. Behind this as well, Spirit is also maxing out on 4, soon to be 5 bases as well. Working his 5th CC. The downside here is just tech-wise, it feels like Lambo is one step ahead. What I mean by that is that we don't have a Ghost Academy. Ghost Academy just now starting up here. That will help against things like Vipers. But the Vipers are already soon to hit the field for Lambo. They're already done. Decent mine hit. A good trade here from Spirit. Again, Spirit, his economy is still looking solid. He's on the cusp of maxing out himself. 3-3 on the way for the Terran. And the Ghost Academy is now done. Now we have to be careful here for Spirit not to overinvest into Ghosts or not to take up too hard into them, just because Lambo, sure, he has Vipers, true, but he doesn't really have any Lurkers or any other higher form attack. Oh my god, big mine shot! Like, it is still mainly Lingbane Hydra. As he's going to be pushing on both fronts, pushing into tank fire though. Bit of an overextension from Lambo. Spirit has been trading very well. Has been trading more efficiently, especially against those Lings. But here we go, Lambo, he's committed. Forces to cancel these bases, going for the planetary. The Mailings! They roll in, they crash into the mineral line. SCV is going to be going down the planetary as well. At the same time, Spirit trying to get on top of those Hydras, but alas, I barely cannot. Does shave off a couple of them. But Lambo, he takes down the base and backs the hell off. And it looks like he is going to trigger a counterattack. Spirit wants to try to punish this, but I can't really get this going. There we go. Tanks are repositioning. Fourth base being retaken. We are pushing onto creep, but oh, that's 20 Bailings in production. Bailings are coming in. Vipers are full of energy. Going for the powerbomb on the medevac. Oh my god, they're doing so much damage. The splits a little bit delayed. Medevacs do survive, but that was so much damage done to them. Stacking was unreal. Vipers still full of energy as well. We can see Lambo getting ready to collapse on this position. Coming in from behind. Getting on top of the tanks. Big mine hit. Really good kiting overall. Really nice concave out of Spirit. Oh my god. Cleans up all the Bailings, but that was a costly trade. It did cost Spirit all of his tanks. Regardless, he's going to chase this down. Without any Bailings, there's no stopping the Marine Army. The hatchery will fall. Spirit, he has some momentum. Bailings just now on the way. But Spirit, he doesn't risk it. Doesn't risk chasing this down. He will back off. But we have a back and forth. Lambo trying to retake this hatchery. Spirit behind this, getting back into tank production. Tanks and Widow Mines. Fifth base is on the way. Lambo taking every other base on the map. We still have the center bases and these southern bases that are left for the Terran. Spirit can try to take them eventually. But Lambo has map control, he has creep all over the place. His army is spotted. Big scout here from Spirit. And he's going to be rotating. But it may just be too little too late. The SCVs! No! Ooh, oh my god, even some friendly fire. 8 SCVs go down. Overall, they're an efficient trade against the Bailings, though. Snipe's going to be going up. No, is it Moku? Is it me? Who is it?
Game paused.
Oh. Our ping is looking good. There we go. Moku, SE boy, no! Unfortunately, it looks like our Chinese casters are getting a little bit of latency. This is not the time. I don't know if you can see on the minimap, but as soon as Lambo started pulling back here at this third base location, we have a drop in the north and a drop towards the south. Spirit is counterattacking, hitting 2 bases at once. And Lambo is out of position. He may just lose both hatcheries. Lambo has to make a choice. As soon as the unpause finishes, Lambo either has to turn back around and try to recover, or commit. Commit and just push into the natural. As SC Boy is our SC Boy and Moku. They are our Chinese coverage, unfortunately. They're the organizers of this event, so it is a big shame that they're having some connection issues. But here we go. Again, Lambo looks like he does want to dive on these ghosts at the same time. Drop towards the north, drop towards the south. There we go, instantly diving on top of the army. Lightning Cloud gets thrown down, big EMP. Pull back to the tank, Sling Bane trying to get on top of those ghosts. It looks like we do get on top of the tank at least. Another Blinding Cloud on the ghost as well. Lambo, he's just sending it right into the main base on top of the production. At the same time, looks like that northern hatchery and the southern hatchery did go down as well. But we are camping the production. We're picking off units as they pop out, and Spirit, this may just be the kill move that Lambo was looking for. Spirit trying to fight his way back into his main base. The ghosts are gaining ground. Yeah, we are cleaning up all the Hydras. The drops are coming back home, but Lambo, he's reinforcing with Mass Ling. And Spirit, he has retaken control of his main base. But he lost 39 SCVs. Lambo, meanwhile, is triple expanding. He's taking every base he can. And Spirit, he's holding. But again, he just lost so much of his economy. He has a lot of rebuilding to do. So does Lambo. The difference being that Lambo has map control. The mine! Oh. But Lambo does have map control, so he has the freedom to expand anywhere he wants to. Mine's just going to be going up. Spirit has the more efficient army. But Lambo, he's re-establishing these hatcheries. Getting them back up and running. Spirit, though, not going down without a fight. Should be taking down top right. It's going for the base. Does scan, does see the army. How many Vipers? One. Only one Viper available here for Lambo. Does go for the power bomb. Big Snipe's going to be going off. I'm loving the reaction here from Spirit. Does pull back. Does trade very well. Hatchery's going to go down. Spirit can from here rotate over towards the center base. And Lambo, he's making 3 Vipers at the moment. Oh, the base is left exposed. Big Link counterattack. Yeah, SCVs are falling. Workers that we just can't afford to lose. And you can see Spirit is being pulled apart the Banelings. And they look to crash into those Marines. Spirit now coming back towards the north. In a head-to-head fight, I actually favor Spirit. I do think Spirit can win like a more head-on engagement. But Lambo just constantly going for harassment, just constantly going for these run-bys. Not allowing Spirit to breathe here. Scan reveals a lack of expansion. As Lambo, he's just spreading creep here on top of the bases of Spirit. Again, just not allowing him to expand. And because of those power bombs earlier, Spirit, he hasn't been able to go for any drop plays. Medevacs are so low. Speaking of the Lings, they get into the main base once again. The door is wide open. Spirit gonna take a good fight though. Gonna force back the main army, but Lings, they get into the main base. Production getting caught out. A couple of ghosts as well. 2 ghosts gonna be going down. And while Spirit tries to regain control of his main, Lambo, he just rotates towards the north, going for the planetary. Not too many Banelings here, unfortunately. Spirit heavily overstimmed. Oh my god. Heavily overstimmed. But does hold on to his planetary. Again, the supplies are looking close, but the fact that this army is on its last legs is a little bit brutal. Likewise, Lambo doesn't have the best upgrades either. +3 3 melee just now finishing up on the horizon. We have 4 infestors. Yo, 1 good fungal is all we need. Again, this army is just so battered and so bruised. Lambo is getting ready for it. He's getting ready for those fungals. Hatchery going to be going down, and here we go. We're going for the engage. Show us the fungal. League Mate just rolling on top of the army. Infestors still yet to reveal themselves. Massive fungal on the army. And the League Mate barely does collapse on this, and it looks like Lambo just has too much. He breaks the main army here of Spirit. Another fungal as well. And Lambo has finally done it. Now with double the supply of his opponents. Getting the planetary is going to be a bit of a mission. But he is focusing it down. The repairs. There we go. Looks like the planetary will fall. At the same time, we have a jog towards the south. We take down the base. But this planetary did mean so much more to Spirit. As he's down to 1.5 bases. Top right has been spotted, and top right is going to be denied as well. Oh, the fungal! Once again, big fungal on the main army. And Spirit just doesn't have enough left. It was definitely a good effort. Spirit, again, he was able to fight very well for quite some time, but the kill move was during the pause, if you remember. During that unfortunate lag out. When Lambo was able to get on top of the army and bust into the main base for the first time. That was a crucial moment for Lambo. And now Lambo, he's refining his army, getting into lurkers. Taking the center base towards the south. We have a double drop, but I believe it has been spotted by those lings. Oh god, the lunkers! The lunkers are getting in position. We got lings in the natural. The lurkers laying siege upon the last mining base here of Spirit. At the same time, he's also shutting down this center hatchery as well. A lot of drones are falling. And the hatchery itself, oh my god. Doesn't last too long. But we're getting on top of the main army. Big mine shot, but we clean up the force. GG gets called, and Lambo will be taking game number 1. GG. GG, well played. That was that was intense, Poppy. An intense game there between Lambo and Spirit. Did go the way of Lambo in the end, but that was pretty close and pretty back and forth. I'm hoping that the lag outs wasn't the determining factor. I did mention that that was the time when things did swing in favor of Lambo. I hope that the latency that the players were experiencing at the time didn't negatively impact Spirit. And I hope they didn't allow Lambo to actually get a win there. That would be a shame if that were to be the case. But regardless, we're going to be getting into game number 2 between these two players. Meanwhile, when it comes to updates on the bracket, it looks like Rainer versus Baby Marine is still ongoing? Question mark? What has happened? Yeah, I have confirmation. Rainer versus Baby Marine still mid-series. They're still going at it. A winner goes up against Mana, winner goes up against Wayne. Meanwhile, Showtime versus Hearthstone has come to an end. And my condolences to Hearthstone. It is his year. It's always his year. The year of Hearthstone. But unfortunately, that is not enough to overwhelm and overcome Demauer himself. As Showtime did 2-0 Hearthstone and is waiting in the lower semifinals. So Showtime is waiting for the winner of this series. we go. Also, I just realized I was really curious who Magic Terran was, because they were laughing that SC Boy lagged out, and now it makes sense. Magic Terran is actually Xiaose, who's SC Boy's co-caster. So suddenly it makes a lot more sense why he reacted that way. I was like, who is this guy? Does he know SC Boy? He does. He does. Those wondering, they are the tastosis of the Chinese scene, essentially. Great casters, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2. Going to be on Golden Aura. Now, personally, I'm hoping for an ace match, but we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. We'll see where we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the German Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Na'Vi. It is Spirit. Let's go. As here in Game 2, Spirit is looking to spice things up even further, going for a proxy. Oh, I was going to say a proxy 2 racks. My apologies. This is a proxy 3 racks. 3 SCVs, 3 racks in total. A very committed build here. Very committed opener from Spirit. Oh boy, we'll see if he can get this, if he can make this work. We'll see if Lambo is caught off guard. For now, Hatch first. Hatch first had a Lambo. So it actually hasn't been uncommon to cut corners on Golden Aura, but there we go. It's going to be a Hatch gas pull. We are not going gasless here against the Terran. But we are committed to 3 racks. So those that are curious, is a very committed build from Spirit. With this, we're going to be throwing down some bunkers. We're going to be looking to not just deny the 3rd, but ideally get even more damage than that. This is, again, just insanely borderline all in. You can transition out of this. This is true, but it is difficult to transition out of this for Spirit. As Lambo is keeping his Overlord outside of his natural, hoping to react and to shut down the eventual bunkers that are going to be on the way. Now, because it's a 3 racks, ideally we do want to give up on the natural base. We don't really want to fight for it. We don't want to pull too many boys. We don't want to lose too many workers. As 2 SCVs are revealed, making it look like a 2 racks. Marines, they do catch an Overlord. The Overlord will barely get on top of the pillar. We'll get onto that high ground. Meanwhile, behind this, we have the Roach Warren on the way, Spine Crawler as well. Looks like Lambo, he is giving up on the low ground. He has recognized how aggressive this is going to be. Oh, the SCV almost goes down. But so far, a wise choice out of Lambo. He's giving up on the natural and has correctly identified, or just gambled a little bit, that this is indeed a 3 racks. Spine Crawler is being cancelled though. Lings are on the way. Is Lambo going to try to go for the dive? Oh. There we go, the hatchery has been shot down. And this is a good start for Spirit, don't get me wrong, but this is the bare minimum that Spirit wants to get done. Lambo, he's already building up his Roach count, soon to be Ravagers. With his Ravagers, he's going to be breaking free. And we have seen a lot of Terran players from here transition into Marauders. There it is, Tech Labs are on the way. Concussive Shell and Marauder production has commenced. It is going to be on Spirit to try to hold on, survive, and reinforce this army with Marauders. Likewise, it's going to be on Lambo to break free before too many Marauders reinforce and become too much of a problem for his Roach army to deal with, or for his Ravager army to deal with. We have our first wave of vials. SCV going to be keeping this this bunker up and running a little bit longer. Behind this, we are attempting to transition. That is not a CC though, that is a factory. That bunker taking a lot of damage, forcing that salvage, but oh, it's going to be a kill, not a salvage. Good pick off. Good pick off so far. Meanwhile, looks like Spirit he has recognized he is giving up on this position. He's amassing his Marauders out in the center of the map. And now he's reinforcing. Now with Concussive Shell, we can of course try to focus on some of these Ravagers and pick them up. Oh, that's going to be another kill, not a salvage. The Spirit is backing off. Now, he still needs to maintain this position because he's not floating his Raxes. His add-ons are out in the open. He has to commit, and he's all in, essentially. I mean, now we have a CC on the way, but it's after the factory and after the starport. There we go. Raxes are floating back home. Spirit. He's looking to pull this off. No! Who is it? Yo, everyone is lagging today. My god. Pommy, I believe Pommy's the French caster, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. Initially, our Chinese coverage was lagging out. Now Pommy, smooth. Not like this. I'm just trying to double check. Pommy, is he a French caster or is he a Russian caster? I can't quite remember. Yeah, it looks like we'll just be getting into this. Thankfully, we've taken. Oh, there we go. Thankfully, we are in a bit of a lull here in this game, so the lag out of this caster didn't really negatively affect the players. We'll be able to back up. Lambo taking his natural, likewise so is Spirit. Overlord comes in, does get eyes on the Marauders. Big scout. We are aware. Oh, and we're going not just a Banshee opener. I saw the add-on swap earlier. Banshees make plenty of sense. Are we going to go for a second starport? Because that is a fusion core on the way. BCs? Let's go. If we're going to meme it up with battle cruisers, may as well just double down and throw down a second starport, right? I mean, we'll see. Tech labs are being shut down. We only got Concussive Shell. We did not get, oh my god, we did not get Stim or Combat Shields. As we have a third CC on the way. Meanwhile, Lambo, he is committed. He is not droning. Cutting workers at 21, amassing Ravagers, looking to knock down this front wall. And the Raxes are going to fall, or they're forced to raise. So far, good positioning though here. The Lings are getting annihilated. We're looking for surround on the Marines and the Marauders. A nice target firing, but it looks like we are cleaning up the main army. And we're barely getting into the middle line. Boys are being pulled. Looks like Spirit, he's going to be able to hold on, but Lings, they're reinforcing. There we go, they are being forced back. It's going to be 10 worker kills. And Lambo is droning up as best he can behind this. Oh boy. And the question becomes, what did Lambo see? Oh, he did not get eyes on the fusion core. He's aware of the Banshee production, that is true. But he is not aware of the fusion core. He did see the third CC at least, so he knows that Spirit's working on a longer game. As the Overlord dips into the main base, gets eyes on the production. Again, could still believe it is Banshee production. Oh, there we go. Tech labs are on the way. Reactors as well. First BC does teleport across the map into the main base. We are trying to go for the Queens. And it looks like we should be able to focus them down. One Queen falls. The second Queen as well. And this is all the anti-air we have, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna be focusing down every single Queen. The Queen does pop out just in time, but it's taking so much damage. Spire is on the way. Bearing in mind that Lambo is still on 2 bases. 4 drones is not insignificant. There we go. We go for the mule. We go for the repair as well. Topping up the battlecruiser. Soon to be joined by a 2nd battlecruiser as well. And behind this, Spirit is going for a bio transition. Part of me was thinking, are we going to go into mech? Like, we had quite a delay for Stim, but Stim is now on the way in. It is going to be bio. 3 more Raxes, 5 in total. BC is coming back in. How many queens do we have? We still only 4. It's better than earlier at least, but there we go. We do have 1. We do have a 2nd transfuse available. Spirit though, he's just focusing down as many drones as he can, getting 6, soon to be 7 workers, and does barely teleport back home. Whew. Very clutch. Down to 17 HP, and that was only 1 battlecruiser. Looks like we cancelled the 2nd one though. We're going for an add-on swap into just straight up bio play.
Research complete.
Spire was spotted. And yeah, Spirit is just getting to Marines and Marauders. 1-1 is on the way. Turrets are finishing up as well to defend against the Mutas. Now Lambo does have map control with these Mutalisks, but we'll see what he can get done with it. So he's going to be amassing mutas here outside of that main base. Heading into the main. Widowmines are burrowing. To be very wary. You see the BC wants to try to bait in those mutas if possible. Scan reveals Ravagers alongside the 1-1 upgrades. We can see that it is going to be a Roach Ravager heavy composition from Lambo. But I want to give the edge to Spirit at the moment. Against Spirit, he's got the better economy. He's got the better army. Roach Ravager can snowball out of control in the mid game. This is true. But we're not quite there yet. We don't really have the supply to work with. Yeah, leads are being cleaned up. We're chasing this down. Same time, battlecruisers are getting into the main base. Mutas are forced back. Spirit's still being very active. And once the mutas are revealed, then we can be a little bit more assertive as well. So here comes that Roach Ravager army. BC forces help with the hell out of there. Spirit definitely does want to engage. There we go. He goes for the stim. Oof. Oh my god. Even forcing some friendly fire there with those vials. He does unload. Reinforcements meet up, and this is a really scary moment for Lambo. And he's doubling down on this, by the way. Still making roaches. Lambo is still committed. There we go, we dive on top of the army, go for the massive stim as well. Biles, they do graze the forces of Spirit. Buying a bit of time. Forcing back the army. Meanwhile, Lambo still isn't taking a 4th and still isn't droning. So he's still just hyperfixated on just pure Roach Ravager. One way or another, the game is about to end. Lambo, he wants to either break Spirit here and now, or die trying. I'm loving the use of these mutas. Again, just trying to pull Spirit apart, weaken up some of the defenses. How many tanks do we have? We're gonna have 3 tanks, soon to be 4. It's Lambo, he's looking for another way in. Lambo has maxed out. Mu's doing what they can. When you see Spirit specifically target firing as many of these Ravagers, he gets 2. Up, gets 3. 3 Ravagers for 1 BC. Does teleport away. This is looking dire here for Lambo, but he's going for it. Going for the dive, but alas, he cannot break this position. GG gets called. Spirit far too ahead, and Spirit will tie it up 1-1. GG. GG, get a solid game out of Spirit. Did very well initially, getting into, of course, his proxy Raxes and into his transition as well. The battlecruiser was the cherry on top, essentially. It was able to achieve so much damage, so much value. Really nicely done from Spirit to try to hide and, yeah, really surprise Lambo with that battlecruiser, believing it was just going to be Banshees. And with that, Spirit was able to snowball out of control, forced the all-in, defended beautifully, and now we get an ace match. It all comes down to this final game on Alcyone. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the German Zerg player being forced into the ace match, looking to make it to the semi-finals. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Lambo. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Na'Vi, it is Spirit. And once again, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3 SCVs being sent out to proxy some Raxes. I mean, it worked in game 2, may as well work in game number 3 as well. So it's going to be a proxy 3 Rax here, same build, same kind of outlook here from Spirit. Going to be going for Mass Marine with a bunker rush behind it. And if Lambo, of course, goes for the same reaction, going into Roaches, we should also be seeing some Red Orders on the way from Spirit as well. We'll see if there's any kind of major form of deviation. Lambo did go Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener from our Zerg player. We'll see if the Overlord comes across this. Is going to be scouting, but won't go out far enough to really see any of these Raxes. So Lambo is going to be in the dark. Now, the question becomes, will Lambo try to save his natural? I'm pretty sure, once again, Spirit is only going to reveal 2 SCVs, so there is a chance that Lambo may misread this. He may believe, like, you're not going to 3-Rax me 2 games in a row, and may think it's a 2-Rax and then go for a different response. Those that are curious, 2-Raxes are typically something that you can defend your natural against. You can pull the boys, you can shut down the SCVs, and yeah, you can have a bit of a stronger reaction and a stronger response. But here we go. Bunkers are on the way. Marines going straight for the Overlord as well. Lambo going for a third base is going to be pulling the boys. Uh-oh. Yeah, he wants to try to fight for control of his natural. Looks like 1 SCV is going to be going down. Nice pickoff here already from Lambo. The other SCV is exposed. How would you see Spirit overextending? But there's that third SCV on the way. And we have a massive amount of Marines who do force a cancel. There is another bunkers on the way. And can Lambo deal with this? Can he clean this up? Can he deny that bunker? Once again, the boys are being pulled, going for the surround. he is going for it. It looks like he will not get on top of the bunker. Not yet. Yeah, this is the scary thing. Both queens going to be going down, and this is just becoming too much damage. GG gets called. Lambo misreading the build, assuming it was a 2-Rax, and Spirit will take the series 2-1. GG. And that is what I was afraid of for Lambo, is that he may have just gotten into his own head a little bit, may have just assumed that Spirit wouldn't 3-Rax 2 games in a row, thought it was a 2-Rax, did try to fight for control of the natural. As you saw there, the big difference here between a proxy 2-Rax and a 3-Rax is that obviously with the 3-Rax there are more Marines, which means if you're pulling the boys and if you're trying to surround and deny those bunkers, very quickly the Marine count can snowball out of control. This is why that in game 1, Lambo immediately just gave up on his natural. He just gave up on it, he threw down the spine, threw down a roach warren, and stayed on one base and eventually broke free. Here in game number 3, we saw that Lambo again just assumed that it was a different build, and yeah, it was a bit of a gamble, bit of a risk that you take as a Zerg player, and yeah, Lambo, he gambled incorrectly there and was punished for it. GG, well played. Congratulations to Spirit for advancing on. Congratulations. And my condolences to Lambo, as it looks like we have both semifinals ready. Ooh, we have a choice to make.